Do what you want to do. If your kink is slapping somebody across the face while you're fucking do it, why not?
I did try it once and I couldn't move for 3 hours. I was like this.
Men are like animals, you know. I had some panic attacks when I was younger, and the CBD actually really helped me.
I hated it so much.
I've always felt like I need a partner with whom I can be together forever.
Hello, this is Vulgar Conversations, the podcast. This is episode 2. This is Patrisha. She sings the main theme of the movie, the main song of the movie. She was kind enough to work with us and participate.
I prefer to work each time very differently.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't have like a go-to process or
you
mix
have
it
one
up?
specific process.
Okay.
I have it very differently. Sometimes I start with music, sometimes I start with lyrics, sometimes I start with a theme, sometimes I start with the kind of a storyline or what am I gonna write about. So yeah, it's very different every time.
Okay. It's funny because you say that and I feel very boring because I always do the same. I have like a very specific process that whatever I'm gonna do, I have to start writing, then I look for visual I do feel that in a way, because you're saying that you like getting references and inspiration, I have like periods that I feel like I'm ingesting, consuming a lot, and then at some moment I feel I just have to put this stuff out.
Yeah, you have to like vomit it out.
Yeah.
Basically, if you feel that way. Sometimes you just feel like, oh, I'm gonna pour it out, you know? Sometimes you just vomit it out, because it just feels like that.
Yes.
Everything you've experienced in your own life or with people you've met, you know, sometimes it feels like it's kind of very hard for you to hold it in, and so you just want to kind of take it all out.
Do you write a lot about your own experiences or how?
Well,
how do
it
you feel?
depends. Yeah, I write about like very relatable stories and very relatable feelings and maybe situations that we all been through like but I don't love to kind of tell my reality that is my reality. Because it's like my kind of personal life, and I don't want to really put that out because I also want to kind of shelter my person that I'm with. Yeah, so I really love my family. I would love to call it like my family, not only like my mom, dad and sister, but it's also like my partner.
Your inner circle.
Yeah, so the closest people is my family, and I really want to shelter them. But the thing is, I really love to write like very understandable stories and feelings that we all experience in our life.
Okay. I'm the other way around. I just yap about everything that happens to me. I literally, every song has a person that I'm like, this.
Well, sometimes, of course, you have something very specific that you want to tell a person or to your listeners. So, for example, I have this one song, Jūtas nolietotas. When I wrote it, I was like 15 years old, and I wrote it in English also, and it was called Overthinking. So I was writing basically about my own like overthinking, that it's very hard to live with it. And people who has the overthinking, it's actually, it's very hard to live with it. So, and then I really loved the kind of meaning of the song, like the concept of the song, and I kind of started to write it in Latvian with a team together. At that point, and we basically wrote it in Latvian. It's called Jūtas nolietotas, or basically in translation, it's like expired feelings. Yeah. And
good title.
Yeah.
I like it.
Because, you know, you have so many people in your lifetime that you meet, that you spend time with, and then something can happen and those feelings can expire, or, you know, the friendship can expire, basically.
For sure.
So, yeah, that's the song about it. And that's like a very true something that I totally experienced in my life.
Have you written a song for somebody that is like for a person, that you had a person in mind?
Yeah. I have helped some young artists that are also starting, and I've been a part of...
No, but I get that, but I mean, like, for example, you had a problem with somebody, a best friend or something, or an ex-lover or whatever, and you're like, you go on that song and you start writing about them.
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
But I haven't released the songs.
Okay.
And I probably would not.
Okay. Okay. No, I get
That's
it.
like you know, some people are writing diaries.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like writing a song with those kind of, you know,
Yes.
lyrics, and then just keep it somewhere.
Okay.
Somewhere where no one can hear it and see it.
Okay. I write like it's a diary, but then I just put it out. Of course, I don't say who it is. Yeah. Well, the same with the movie. The movie is basically experiences. It's an experience that I had when I was moving here. That I met a lady. Let's put it that way. And I feel there's very similarities because this very similarities with where I come from Venezuela. Like there's like this kind of conservative versus more open-minded people. I think we artists in general tend to be a little bit more open-minded. I'm not going to talk about everybody, but I'm going to talk about myself. And for me, the cultural clash was kind of interesting. But it also reminded me of my country because there was this difference in some people that are like by the book, and in my country you see it a lot with religion, yeah, like Catholicism is like very very big and active. Here I know that there's religion, but it doesn't feel the same. Like there is like Europe, you can clearly tell that is older, yeah, that they have been through more stuff. Like we're like the new continent, and you feel that the culture is also new. So that clash with people that you meet, and that's what I wanted to put in the movie, a story about how I came and met somebody and what happens, and it ended up being Vulgar, and that's the title of the movie.
Like that.
Ching, ching, ching. 100,000 people we need to put in the cinema, so please support. Don't go one time, you have to go many times. It's 100,000 people that we have to put in the cinema. Just a little sponsorship here. I don't know if you have before work like this that somebody asks you to do a song and then you just literally come sing it and then go your way and don't participate in anything. Yes, have you done it?
Yeah,
okay.
I've done it. Okay. I've done it before for a Latvian movie. It was the same exact experience. We wrote a song. We basically finished it. It's an amazing track in Latvian about chess.
Okay.
And basically, yeah, we wrote the song. We finished it. We gave it to the person who was filming the movie, and that's how it went. And then they had also like this release movie in a cinema, and everybody heard the song, and then they texted me all that. Oh my God,
how did you feel
when
you saw your song in the movie?
Well, it's actually very hard to describe it. It's an interesting feeling. You feel overwhelmed with a lot of different emotions and feelings at once. You feel happy, you feel excited, you feel stressed. Yes. You also feel like, oh my God, now everybody's gonna be like listening to the song that you know. Yeah. I feel very grateful because, you know, my voice is also a part of a movie that is translated and shown at the cinema on a big screen, and that's a great, I think, point in life and a career of a young person especially. So I'm really grateful, and I'm happy that I'm part of this, and thank you very much we could do this together. I think the latest my thoughts that I've been thinking about is that we have to support each other here because we're in such a small country in Latvia, and if we don't work together, you know, we can get somewhere on the next level, for example. For sure. And a lot of people are actually missing this part, or they just lack it for some reason. I don't know if it's like being scared of something, or is it like, you know, you feel like you don't want to give your kind of achievements to somebody else, but it doesn't mean that you have to give everything to somebody else that you have achieved. You just have to, it's art. Yeah. Artists work together, and it's been happening for years, so that's why we are artists, so we can collaborate, you know. You're an artist in your own way, I'm an artist in my way, and if we work together, you know, we can do big things, and I think it's great. 1000%.
Well, one of the things that I feel that, to be fair, I do feel it's tricky to do teamwork. You know, teamwork has its own challenges. Me, because I come mainly from cinema, I'm used to working teams. And I understand a lot of the times the transition for artists is kind of hard because, you know, if you're a solo artist that you're deciding everything about your brand, your career, the topics you talk about, then you feel kind of like out of your element when you're working in certain type of different projects. So it can make it complicated, but I do agree 1000%. I think, well, and this is one of the things that I love about cinema, that is the joint venture of many different arts together. It's the cinematography, it's the performance of the actress, it's the music that is being played, it's the music that was composed for the singer, it's your voice, it's everything together, the art direction. And that's what creates like this huge, you know, piece of art that, you know, I already saw the movie in the screens and I was very impressed because I can see the decisions of a lot of people that participated in this project, and I feel so proud. I loved it.
Yeah,
I really love the movie. So
yeah, if you have a great team and you work together as a family, I would call it, then everything should work, you know, great, I think. And the team is like, the extra hands and extra legs that are helping you. If you're, for example, the main person who's talking to other people, you know, and doing all the PR stuff, that's our reality, you know. You have to show your new movie
of course.
to other people. You have to talk about it, and then you have a lot of people who are behind the scenes kind of, but they're part of the team. And
for sure.
And they're very like special people, and you have to have this connection. You have to have this one brain sometimes.
Yes.
And I'm very, actually, myself, I'm very proud of my own team because, I really love to step out my comfort zone a lot. And this was also one of those times because it's very great. I can show my own self from, you know, different sides also. But the team is a big, I think it's a big gift if you have a great people around you and it's becoming a team that works together and, you know, trying to achieve some new heights. It's very great. Yeah,
I agree that point that you made, that we also should support each other to go bigger, because I think the bigger the goal, the bigger the team. It's impossible for one person to go super high. We also I think one of the biggest things that I did with the movie, well, I think what I pride myself better about the achievement is that I was able to pinpoint like an amazing thing. Like when I was watching the movie, I was like, oh my God, like I can't believe it, because if I would have known the results before I started, I would have never believed it, because if you would have shown me that movie before I started making it, I would say, no way we made that movie. Like I would be shocked. So, but it was because I made a big effort in trying to understand who was the right fit, who had the right energy, the right vision, who were able to also bring their own ideas, but also let other people lead. Because, you know, in a movie, at the end of the day, you need one voice, one north, one captain. And a lot of the times it's hard because, you know, I'm trying to, for example, when we collaborated for the music, I know how it fits in a scene. I'm not only thinking about, is it going to be played on the radio? I'm only thinking how it's going to hit in the scene when the people are in the cinema, because that's why we're making this. What would you think is the perfect man that a woman should look for? Like, what is it your ideal of? Do you have an ideal? What are your thoughts on that, on the perfect man in a relationship?
I think some interest definitely should be, you know, on the one side. I think like you have something in common. That's a great thing. I'm a very like family loving person, so for me that would be a person who also wants a family, who wants to build a family, who wants a family life, who would love to be a father, a good father for their children.
What's a good father? Just so that I know. What do you mean by?
I mean loving, caring, and stuff like that. You know. Yeah, like a good father figure, because I think it's everybody needs a good mom and a good dad, so you can also grow up a good person. I think you should be very supportive towards each other, because you know, you can do maybe a very different things. For example, one works in an office, the other one is an artist, you know, and sometimes there can be something in between those two that you can't really understand each other. Yeah. But if you kind of try to talk and understand the other person, you know, and just try to be supportive, then I think everything should work out. Okay.
Are you, when you...
And respect.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. I follow. One question. I'm a guy more of feelings. I think, I agree with everything that you're saying, but I think and this might be very irresponsible, but this is how I've done it. I pick partners based on how I feel. Like it's like, oh, if I feel good, I'll figure it out. Yeah, like, and if I can't figure it out, I'll move on. But it's just like, there's something about the feelings. And I think, I ask you this specifically because I also know you're an artist, and, you know, we artists move, like a lot of our, how to say, our direction is moved by feelings, and a lot of the times takes us to great places. And a lot of the times takes us to like, what am I doing here? Yeah, like to these kind of crazy places that you're like, make these kind of mistakes. What are your thoughts on that?
I might be, I think I'm very traditional in, if I'm looking at the relationship kind of things, because I've grown up seeing my parents being together since they were teenagers. So basically they're still together. You know, they're married for almost 30 years or so. Oh, wow. And I've always also had this kind of feeling that I'm an old soul. Okay. So I've always felt like I need a partner with whom I can be together forever, like I can grow old together. So if I've had a partner, I would love to be with one partner in my life, to not switch anybody, because I feel like I'm a temple, and you know that like I should only allow somebody to enter me. It might sound wrong, but like, you know, you enter the temple when you want to kind of feel the feeling of like security, you know, the piece of the peace, the calmness and everything. For example, sometimes I have this feeling, oh, I want to step into the church because I want to kind of feel a little bit at ease, because I feel kind of irritated or something. And then, the same is with the person. The other person for me is like this temple that I can, you know, this is the place where I can find this peace and calm and everything, and secure feelings. And I'm very traditional if I look at the relationship. So even if I rotate around a lot with people and with work and places and stuff, I'm very like loyal. I'm very loyal. I'm very strict about my, you know, how far you can go with touching me, even if we're just friends and close friends. No way. Like I'm very like strict about that. So I'm very friendly and open and everything, but
So one question, there is where you have like because I was telling you before that when I work, I'm very structured, I'm boring, and kind of like traditional in that way. So you have that is in the relationship.
Exactly. And if you even have some struggles in a relationship, I'm the person who's never gonna say, okay, then just split and, you know, do what you want to do. I'm always gonna fight for the relationship, because I think if you love the person and you really want to spend your lifetime with the person, you should fight for the relationship and for the other person you're with. Because I think you meet the person with whom you're spending your time. It was meant to be, you know. So in my life, like my partner, we've met when I had very hard times in my life. Some experiences were very hard. So he was the one who actually really gave me this peace and security, and I'm really thankful just that I have this person in my life. And we've been together for a long time, and you know, everybody has their ups and downs and struggles things that you have to go through, and that's totally normal. But we both understood that we want to fight for the relationship and for the other person that we're together with. Some people are easier, you know, they're just like, oh, it's too hard, let's just split and, you know, go our own ways, but we're kind of, we're fighters and we're very traditional in a relationship.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Can I ask you how long have you been together?
It's been some years.
Okay,
It's been some years. It's been a long time. Pretty long time if we look at that like that.
Okay, but cool. That's cool that you found like support. I think I don't know, like in my opinion, I feel that the artist's life is just so messy and so chaotic and crazy. And you know that I'm also I'm traditional in a different way. Let me put it this way. I'm not traditional how you're describing it, but I do feel that, you know, that relationships grow with time and they just get better with time because you just get to know the other person better. And as you say, there are struggles here and there because, you know, it's not like we're puzzles that we're perfectly fit. It's more like we have gives and goes. But in reality, I do feel that I like a certain type of structure because I feel the rest of my life has been too chaotic, and I need to kind of have like some order. And I didn't do well when I was younger. You know, when I was younger, I used to, you know, you have different dates, different people. You're switching around a lot, and I wouldn't just feel good. So. I'm even, and this is not only with relationship, it's also with friendships. I think same friends, same business partners, same like for a long time. I think that does better.
Yeah, but the trust is the thing I think that should be in
1 billion%.
Yeah, because if you don't have the trust, then there's nothing to do there, really.
Yeah, no, 1000%.
And that was a big challenge for me in my life because, you know, I went through bullying. I've lost a lot of people in this while working in music industry, and it's, you know how it is.
Yeah.
So you lose a lot of people, and you kind of don't have the trust, or the trust you lose it and stuff. So. Yeah, and there have been some moments, of course, in a relationship too, where you kind of feel, can I trust you, you know, enough, or etc. But then you think about, we can, because you know, if we don't trust each other, we can't just simply make it together. And if you know the other person is very trustworthy and loyal also towards you, then everything should be fine. And I also think that your partner should be very friendly. He should be he should be a gentleman towards other women.
For sure.
He should be, you know, he just should be a good person. Not a bad one or something. But you always have to have some kind of how far you can go. With other people, you know.
We're different there, but but that's a different subject. But I do agree 1000% about the honesty. I feel it's just the honesty is, and again, this not only applies to your partner, but I agree 1000% true that, you know, if you're gonna build something with a life partner, if you don't have honesty there, then what are you gonna have?
Exactly, honesty is a good thing. You should talk. You should if I come from my concert, I usually, you know, tell him how it went and if we had something fun or silly at in the concert, because I also have a band and they're all boys and stuff. So and then we talk about it a lot, and it's funny. And since we're both in music, we can understand each other very well.
That helps.
That helps a lot. And he has a lot of he has a bit more experience in the music industry than me, and sometimes he has a lot of good points to tell me, or you know. And it's just great. I think it's great. Even I would say, especially last 2 years are amazing, because before that, the pandemic and everything, it was hard for everybody. You didn't have work, you know, you had to think what to do now. And of course that played a big role on everybody's mental health, and how you kind of, you got annoyed by a lot, you know, by a lot of stuff. So, and that also kind of, then you start to blame the other person, and it gets hard. You're together too many of your spare time. And but in the end, when you learn to kind of express how you feel, and that's the key for me. If you can't express your feelings or how you feel about whatever it is, and you can't tell me, those things, then it's not going to work. It's just that simple.
And one question: do you work together sometimes, or
Yeah, sometimes, but rarely, because he has his own projects where he's playing drums, you know.
Okay.
And I have my own projects, so we work together very rarely. Sometimes he plays for me if I need to.
Okay.
Sometimes we have some type of concerts where we play with another band where we're together also there. But in my own project, I have my own band, and he has his own projects, so we're separated in kind of work, and I think it's great.
Okay. I work with I think the best thing I do is work with my girlfriend. It's just I can't do it without it. I'm the opposite. Which is weird because I made this little that on the reels on the 100. I made the one that I said you should work 1,000% with your loved ones, and so many people wrote me like, oh no, this is one that I don't agree. Never. I need my space and this and that. I'm like, interesting. I'm just saying, and my reason why I did it is because I was advised all the time, like, don't do it. It's gonna be terrible. And I was missing on something that specifically for me it has changed my life. Like it literally has made it 1,000 times better. No, it's not 1,000, it's even more. I cannot even put numbers on the thing. But so I was like, for the people that needs to hear it, I'm gonna say it. But everybody seems to agree, don't work with your loved ones. But in reality, it's like I see it in like we do everything, running the company, all the things together. So it's a very different approach, but it's interesting to hear because I didn't know he was also in the music industry.
Yeah, we're both in music industry, so we've been working together a lot.
Yeah.
And we love it. We enjoy it. But I really love this feeling when you're both kind of in your own stuff, and then at the end of the day you meet at home and you have this togetherness and you do stuff together, and you can miss each other, That's amazing for us. So, and I love it a lot. But yeah, I would say that our work together is our life journey.
Okay.
And that's what we are working together on, to achieve the best life we can have together.
Amazing.
And so that's the work we're working on together.
Okay. That makes sense. That's good.
True love should feel happy.
Okay.
Should feel like an enjoyment, but also true love hurts a lot.
Okay.
I would say sometimes.
Okay. Why do you feel it
Because
hurts?
you kind of, you're scared that you're gonna lose the other person.
Okay.
Whether it's some random way, whatever can happen,
Yeah.
But my opinion, it's like, I don't know, maybe I can die this evening or tomorrow, whatever. And you kind of have to be very thankful for the person that you have it and the time you have together, because you don't know. One day can come and that's gonna be it.
You're saying this and I'm like, oh, I'm not the only one who's at night having fears. What would be my life without this person? And I'm just literally there thinking, I think I would just shoot myself. So
basically.
Okay, basically. Amazing. What would you choose, Patricia, if your partner cheats? Never learn about it and keep on living? That's the Latin American way. Yeah, like let's just put the blinds on and move on. And learn about it and deal with it. Breakup is not an option. If I don't know why it's not an option, but let's say breakup is not an option.
Fuck that, I'm gonna break up with you, leave you for the stinky ass you cheated on with me.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Okay.
I mean, if you cheat on the person, why are you in a relationship in the first place? Then go and fuck around and live your life like that. I mean, go to the brothel, go to the cabaret or whatever. Okay. You can find a lot of ladies everywhere or whatever. But if
1,000%.
If you wanna be together with somebody, you have to make sure if the other person is like a committed person.
Yeah.
Because you can just simply ruin the other person's life and mental health and everything.
Okay.
because the other person maybe wants this serious relationship, but you only wanted one thing, you know.
Okay.
So you have to make sure first of all if the other person is on the same page as you.
Okay. One question. What if have you ever encountered, like from a friend or somebody that you know, somebody that has cheated that you kind of got it, like that you were like, yeah, well, it makes sense?
No, I was actually, if somebody had cheated on somebody and I've, you know about that, I'm usually pretty upset or shocked, because you always think that, oh, but they were a great pair and everything seemed like cool with them, and we were friends and we spent a lot of time together as, you know, friends in the one kind of, so it usually comes a bit like a shock, but there are also some people who you've known for years are changing partners like one after another, and, and you know, they have unserious relationships, let's call them like that, and then it's not a shock after a while, you know, anymore. So it's not even a surprise, but
you're kind of expecting it.
But when somebody cheats on somebody who, you know, also was very committed in a relationship, you kind of feel like, well, it can happen then to everybody also, because, you know, we can live together for, I don't know, 10 years, for example, everything seems fine, we're very serious, and then there comes a day where you did something. You know, that's kind of, then just end the relationship if you feel also like that, because you're also ruining the other person in every way possible.
Do you think in Latvia, who cheats more, men to women or women to men?
I think both do. But I think also most women, most definitely, are trying to find a person who's gonna be loyal, and most women loves the secure feeling. And I think most of the women who are, I think, pretty grown in their brains, I think they are looking for a man who they can marry, who's gonna take care of them, they're gonna have a family together. Of course, there are a lot of people who don't want a family, they don't want children and stuff, but I can only speak for myself, so I've always been this person, I really love children, I want my family, and that's why I really want to find a partner with whom I can spend my life together. And if you are not interested in that, then just say it to me, and, you know, go your own way, and I'm gonna find somebody who can be with me and like achieve those dreams that I also have.
Okay, but you don't think, because I'm asking you about Latvia specifically because, you know, I come from Latin America, and I think in Latin America, I think every time they're gonna see this, they're gonna kill me. But I feel we're like the cheating is very, I'm not gonna say that women don't cheat, but I think if I had to put percentages, it's higher from men. Like in Latin America, it's kind of like kind of established. I had this friend that we had all this how's it called, like suspicious that that his dad had a completely different family in a different state. But in Latin America, that's not an exception. That's like an old kind of tradition, I would say.
I don't want to say it's normal, but in some kind of way you can say that it's a normal thing between, like, especially young boys or young, you know, guys, that they are just kind of, as they call it, partying around, for example. So you have a lot of women you've slept with and stuff like that. But for me, I don't know, I feel too sacred to kind of also allow that to happen to the body that I have. You know, I think, in my opinion, you know, my body is only meant for one special person. You know, so otherwise you kind of feel like you're a slut or something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But for boys, I don't know. There's also this. A lot of people have been saying, like, well, men are like animals, you know.
1000%. Well, I also feel that this is one thing that I tell a lot of people. I also feel that there's a huge difference in the rate of growth. I feel a guy who's less than 30 is still in his, well, at least I was. I'm just not gonna speak for everybody. But aside from the normal responsibilities of, you know, making ends meet, and you're just not grown enough, not mature enough as a woman. Like women,
Some
like
insecurities and stuff.
yeah. Like the difference between when I was 20 and my girlfriends that were 20 at the time, they're just huge. I was a kid.
They're like grown ass women, and
Exactly.
you're like a boy.
Exactly.
That's the thing. Yeah. And I think a lot of women goes through this stuff, and that's like the main, I think, difference between men and women in some kind of period of age. I don't know a specific number, but yeah, definitely, because women just, I don't know, they're very like serious about everything. Most of the women, I would say.
Yeah, I would agree. And they for sure grow faster than
and it's
men.
a very rare situation when you kind of meet a guy who is your own age, and he's also very like serious about things, and he knows what he wants, and he's like very, kind of.
Never happened to me, to be fair.
Yeah, I think it's a rare situation in nowadays too, especially in Latvia, I think, because it's a small country and you have to find a good job to kind of feel secure with living and everything you can own and stuff like that. And if a guy doesn't have this feeling that he can, provide for himself, or then he's feeling like, oh, I don't want to provide for a woman too. So when he feels secure, not insecure, and he knows that he can provide for a family, I think then this is the moment where he is like,
ready.
All right, I'm calm now. I'm calm down.
Yeah. I agree. What do you think about movies that have nude scenes on screen?
Depends on the movie, I think, and why the scene is being portrayed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Okay, and give me an example. Do you have like something comes to mind? Like,
I really actually loved 50 Shades of Grey movie.
Okay. Did you read the books?
No.
Okay,
I did not.
But you like the movies?
I like the movie because there is this side of the movie that I think a lot of in our society are kind of hiding from.
Okay.
That everybody has those parts of themselves, or you have something, maybe some kind of dreams or whatever it is, call it what you want. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
And you kind of are scared to talk about it, but it's actually a normal thing between people who's in a relationship and who has
grown
active
adults.
Sexual life or stuff like that. So yeah, that was I love that movie because I enjoyed also this like how do you call it? Also like an artistic way or form how it was filmed.
Portrayed.
Yeah. So that's why I loved it. If the nudity it makes sense in the movie and it's not like just random fat dudes who are naked with their little willies. There was this one movie on Netflix where there was this intro in slow motion where there were like a lot of naked fat people, and like no offense to like fat people, but like if you at least would have underwear, I wouldn't mind that. That would make sense for me. But since everybody were naked, like why? Sometimes it doesn't make any sense. It's just something to kind of shock people, I think. More for the shock than for the sense of the, why you're doing it and showing it. So, but I'm not against it because it's a natural thing. We're all human and we all go through this part of our lives too. And I think naked bodies, that's a part of a human being.
No, I like, to be fair, I like it. I agree with you. It needs to be portrayed in a way that is visually pleasing.
Pleasing, acceptable, and it shows the person from the right side.
You have to take care of it. Like it cannot be. For example, when I was talking with the cinematographers of the movie, I was telling them, like, listen, this movie is called Vulgar. It can't be vulgar. It needs to look good. She needs to look like $1 billion. It needs to be tasteful. It cannot be tasteless. But I really like, and I relate when I see old paintings, of women naked, and you're like, of course, this makes absolute sense. But the person is there, like, really trying to make the best that they could. What I don't like is when it's it's just as you said, the nudity for the nudity and
yeah, like why? It's the same like, oh, I want to take I don't know, let's film a movie where there is a lot of fireworks and killings and stuff, but why are you killing people? Like, what is it gonna show? The same with this nudity stuff, because why are you gonna show a naked body if like what it's gonna mean? But if it's a movie about like the experience that all of us experience, and we all also like the naked bodies is some type of a connection between two people. So I think if you kind of portray it like that, that makes sense, and it feels and kind of looks beautiful, But if you just show a naked guy or a woman who's just like, I'm naked in this movie randomly, then
then it takes you out. I agree.
I just want to turn the movie off because like what the fuck was that? Like it doesn't make any sense. It's just like for the shock or for the attention.
I come from Latin America. We have a very different take when it comes, especially to nudity. I think I thought when I was growing up that we were very uptight in Latin America about nudity, but now I feel we're not. Like I feel like uptight are here. Like that is, it's kind of I'm not gonna say it's a taboo because it would be too strong of a word, but I do feel that is, for me it's very complicated to reconciliate that. When I came to Latvia at the beginning, I would go to the piers, to a sauna, or that experience, or the summer celebration. Everybody gets skinny dipping, they're naked and this, but then I wouldn't see it on the movies, or I wouldn't, like there was a disassociation between the art and my Latvian experience. I'm like, I want to see movies about this. This is what is cool. Because me as a foreigner, what I experienced that I was like, this is crazy, was like in Latin America, you're never gonna be with 10 dudes drinking beer naked on a sauna. It's never happening. Like never. Everybody's on shorts, where that kind. But if you go to a movie, there's gonna be like, or the theater, we're all naked. It's very normal. Here it was the other way around. It was like the life in itself. I was like, oh, this is kind of had a shock value to me. Like everybody's naked and shaking hands. It's like that would, like as a Latin American, it's like if you're naked, you're not shaking anybody's hand as a man. It's a gay phobia, whatever you want to put it. But it's funny, but it's true.
No, I think it's like we have also this saying that labā miesā vesels gars, and Latvians also really like take it that way, and being naked in pirts. The best thing you can do. I mean, for men especially, I think it's also like this connection that you're being present with those people, and you kind of, the pirt is a very something meditative in a way for those people. The experience is very great, but for most Latvians, especially like the older generation, to kind of portray your naked body somewhere else or in movies to show that off, I think it was a bit like odd, I would say, for them to accept that, because in reality it's fine, because you see that only with your eyes, and that is it.
Nobody knows.
Exactly.
Nobody stays there. Yeah,
that's something private that people love to keep it private. Like it's happening only between them. But the movies rarely show it, because I think also Latvian people, especially this older generation, they were a bit like shy of showing this reality that we love to be naked together sometimes. We love to take these skinny, dips and everything. You can see that in some movies, but mostly also in old Latvian movies, when you see that there's somebody kind of naked, they're usually covered up with something. So they wouldn't show off the naked body. And I think, from one way, if I'm looking like that on those, why is it like that? I think it's also very actually respectable in a way towards people, because there might be a lot of also people who kind of maybe feel uncomfortable looking at other person's naked body.
Yeah.
in a way,
Okay.
you know, that
Yeah.
because we also have these nudist beaches and
Yeah.
everything, and a lot of people are kind of against that because, you know, oh, we have children, you're walking naked on the beach, yada yada yada, and like they feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like,
Well,
what's the difference between me and you? You know, if you
Yeah.
take off your own,
Yeah.
I don't know, bathing suit.
Yeah.
There's no difference at all, and
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's very natural, and if you want to show it, you show it. If you don't, you don't. That's it. That's
Yeah.
simple. And if you feel more comfortable with showing it to
Yeah.
other people, it's fine.
For me, what happens is that when I went to film school and when I was doing theater, like my main mentors that I really, the ones that I could say changed my life, and they appreciate, because I do feel, especially in theater, and because, you know, I started as an actor, is very, you don't do theater because you want to be famous, or you need you have like an artistic expression, and it was always about digging about the truth. And when I went to film school, one of my writing teachers had the same idea. It's like, just tell me your story. So, you know, I used to think when I came to Latvia, I had many experiences that repeated over the years, because I would come here only on the summers, just because my parents, my dad is Latvian, and I would just spend the summer here, yeah. And but the experiences were very particular, and I was like, why people are not showing this? Because it's what happens. Like, as an artist, the responsibility I was given by my mentors was like, just tell it like it is.
Like
so,
reality.
Like reality. Show
yeah.
the dirt of the struggle. I have this joke that how is there's not a Latvian movie with an alcoholic, because there's so many alcoholics here. Yeah, because that's the reality. I'm guessing a lot of people have an uncle that had a problem, or a brother, or a dad, or so these are the things that I would dig if I was, because that's what, you know, when I was telling you about the plot of the movie, I'm just thinking about my own experience, and it's a little bit of an apology letter because of these things that we were talking about. That, you know, one of my first relationships, we were the same age, but in reality, I was like a kid compared to her. And now that I have the separation, I see, whoa, I became. Now I can understand her, because I have grown older, but I can understand, I haven't seen her like, I don't know, 20 years, yeah, but I can understand how she was like when we were like, I don't know, 15, yeah, so it took me so long to get it, yeah, so it was always about digging about your true experience. So when I went to the movies, every movie that I have seen here, it's a little bit more of make-believe. Also, I'm going to say something. I've met some actors here, and I think Latvians have a natural gift for acting, because in general, they're introverts. And you really need to be connected with yourself to be able to express it outside. So I think that really helps. I have always said that the three things that are very impressive for me from Latvians are their acting abilities, specifically, their eye, like cinematography, photography. People have very good eye, and I would even include like art direction, scenography. They have a very good eye for what is tasteful and looks good. And then the music. Everybody here, when it comes to music, if you compare this to any other country, everybody plays an instrument, everybody sings, everybody is very into the culture. And you know, the summer celebrations, all these things, you're doing music, like there's for such a small country, it's like really a clear gift that they're musically gifted. So when I was when I was going to the movies, I'm expecting great cinematography, great music, and great acting, and I saw none of it. I think one of the problems, and I said it in one of the clips before, is that when the government is giving you money to make movies, you just don't really make the movies that you want to make. You end up making the movies that the government wants you to make.
Exactly, that's what I wanted to tell. Also, like I think the big thing is the director, and usually the directors are older than the actors, and they kind of still follow this old way of making the movies, because in like these times where, you know,
Soviet
Latvia
time.
was suppressed. Yeah. We had a lot of cenzuras. I don't know how you name
censorship.
it.
Censorship,
basically you have cenzura if you show something that you can't show, because it immediately means that basically, oh, you're showing our country from not the best side, you know. This is something that we don't really want to show off. We don't want to represent ourselves with something like that, you know. So I think it's like that. And then also, a lot of these directors who are older generation also, they are very like, you know, inside of the box, and they cannot step out of it and show the reality. Where versus the young directors now who are making some movies, for example, they are very like true about what's happening. They show everything like to the smallest detail. They just show how it is, exactly, like the truth of it all. But I think this is the issue. Why a lot of like even good movies that are Latvian old movies, they are great movies and they're beautiful and everything, but you can even sometimes see and feel that, but why aren't they showing like the part of
how it is?
Like how it actually would end, for example, you know? Because they just don't want to kind of ruin the look, I would say.
But now that you say it, I'm going to tell you. You have given me an answer that I have been looking for. It's the censorship. It's that, because I can see it now still, that they're trying to show something that is not there. Trying to portray yourself as you're better, instead of like, no, just tell me who you are. And we're going to, because that's way more relatable. Like if somebody has if I see a movie of a struggle of an artist that can make a living, not only I'm gonna relate as an artist, is that every person that is struggling to make ends meet are gonna be like, yes, that's what happens to me. But if I see a movie about an artist that is doing great and life is great and he gets all the recognition and everything is easy, how am I gonna relate to that?
Exactly. You can't relate. You just think, oh, I am the person who is like living like shitty life probably, or something's wrong with me. I think that's the main issue. Now everything, I would say, is opening up more, and the new generation of directors also in like music industry, that's the same. Everything's the same. Also, if you're having some collaborations with some type of brands or something, a lot of these people who are owning the brand, they are very old and they kind of still want you, the young generation, even if you're representing the brand and you're kind of popular in your own way, they still kind of also want to, they even want to like censor you. You know, for example, I had this one collaboration where I'm looking like I am. I had blonde hair, I had like bangs, and you know, I have a septum and everything, and I look kind of different than a normal woman, maybe. Like, no, I mean, for a very like old man,
yes, I can get it.
I would look very like odd, you know. And then they also told me, but you know, we had like this photo session and everything, and they were like, can you please remove your bangs? Can you please remove your septum? And I was like, wait, guys, like, stop, no, stop. Like, I think 20 at the time, and I was like, I don't want to be like very like disrespectful, but like, you picked me because I am Patrisha. You picked me because I have my face and my name, and because of the way I look, basically, you know, because of the way people know how I look. And then I come to this photo session, and you knew how I look, and now you're asking me to remove something from my personality. Why? I'm not gonna do that. Simply, if you want to, you know, remove the tattoos, you want to remove everything that's me. And that's why, because you kind of picked me for this role.
Or tell me before.
Then just take a random naked model, do with her what you want to do, and don't even like start this bullshit. Because and that is the biggest issue in like a lot of things where you work. Because some elderly guy who's very traditional and conservative, he's just being this one who's saying how you should do things.
But I'm gonna tell you, that happens in advertisement everywhere. That what is weird for me, just to highlight the specifics, is that in the movies also happens here. Like, you know, like if you go everywhere, there's gonna be an independent thing, somebody who's telling their own story. Because I'm not against that. if that guy wants whatever, do however you want to do, and I agree with you. I will feel if I want to take my piercings out or whatever, or my cap or cut my hair, whatever is required, I will say yes or no. Tell me in advance, because if it's something that it goes against that is very specific of what you need.
If it makes sense also for
exactly.
That, yeah.
Well, and it could make sense for them, and not make sense for me, and it's okay.
But if you have a reasonable thing, why?
Why? Yeah. But my thing is, I understand what they do it, and I don't have a problem that they do it that way. My thing is not subtracting to put my way. It's just there's a lot of space to add. But I'm happy that you're saying that the new generation of filmmakers, they're just trying to portray, and maybe they haven't catch up.
The generations straight up are just trying to kind of push out those traditional and over, I don't know how to, conservative people just to, step aside, because it's not working anymore like that, If you pick a specific person, because of his, popularity, and that will benefit for you, for your brand, for example, then, you have to respect the person, because he's the person, you picked, and that's why you have models who can work, and you can just model
be the face that you need,
however you want. But the younger generation are working great, and I think they are opening the eyes to the reality for the older generation. To kind of accept this feeling that not everything in reality should be kind of uncomfortable. You shouldn't feel uncomfortable with it, because that's the reality for everybody, basically. And everybody is, experiencing some type of things, or, seeing things and stuff, and you cannot hide it. And at the end of the day, and everybody still, when you look at some commercials and you're like, that's bullshit. That's not that's like not actually true. That's not even happening. Like that's some kind of
nonsense.
Exactly. And then you're like thinking, but it's in reality it's like that and that. Why aren't they showing like that? And that would be more even like, I think people would connect more to
1000%
to the reality. So and I'm very thankful that a lot of younger generation are actually now more included in a lot of these industry type of works and projects exactly, and embarrassing it, but at the same time just opening new doors, I would say, with it.
Well, this is one of the things, to give a pass to the new generation, that I do feel, I had the freedom of telling my own story because I self-financed and got another executive producer to help me. So I had the monetary freedom to do what I wanted. Of course, I knew my limitation, because it's not like I had a blank check that I could do whatever I wanted. But it was good enough to work with the team that I wanted. And I do feel that really helps. And that's why I'm really going into the promotion, because I do feel that if we open doors for more people, I'm going to, hopefully, if we're able to recoup and make money, we're going to be the case, the example case, so that younger people, you see, if you invest in me, you can also recoup if we have a good plan and promoting and this and that, because it's needed. It's needed so that there's not such a big disconnect between the audience and the artist. I think there's enough for what is happening, but I also feel that in Latvia there has to be, it's an intuition, a craving audience that needs just reality.
Relatability.
Relatability. What happens to them when they go to Old Town on a Friday? Know what is supposed to be happening. Like all this nonsense. So hopefully in the coming years, and that's the idea of making our own stuff and being our own producer, that we can push our ideas. And if it works, somebody else is going to be inspired to push their own ideas, and then the industry grows bigger. That's kind of like my idea behind it.
I agree. I totally agree.
How do you think society sees sex today in Latvia?
I think it's also like a topic that's been, I think it's becoming more open, and also like you can talk about it more freely, versus where, for example, my parents were my age, and all the same stuff was happening. I think there wasn't as much talk around it because it was something also that you kind of kept behind your own doors, and that was it. And you had your only work life, or if you had some balitas parties, you were together, you had fun and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of this intimacy was kept like private, I would say, especially sex-wise. Nowadays, a lot of youngsters are interested to kind of also experiment in sex. So, you know, we have a lot of different people in this generation who feel about themselves maybe differently than, you know, most of us, or some kind of part of us. So I think they're also experimenting. And they just feel more free, and also that's why they feel more free to talk about that.
And do you think has that brought like a lot of conflict between the older generation and the new generation?
I don't know. I think the younger generation is not talking about sex with the older generation. That is like the point where I can like say that. We just love to talk about it maybe in between our friends, you know, to kind of give some tips or some interesting kind of experiences or whatever it is. But to talk about it with your parents, for example, that would be just straight up weird. No, thank you.
I can't see my parents kissing. It's disgusting for me.
No,
like,
I mean,
that's how bad it is for me.
That's cute. You show your love.
I know it's cute, but when I see it, it's just, I can't handle it. It's just...
I'm the person, I really love. And I love when people are in love and they truly love each other and they are not like scared to show it. I think it's very great. It's awesome. But also for myself, the sexuality or the intimate things, for example, the sex, it's also something that is like for me and my partner, you know, and that's something that we experience together. Of course, it's a topic that everybody knows and everybody experiences that, and you know, it's a thing of a pleasure. But I think the youngest generation is more open with the sex talks. And the older generation, is the one who's also been more like censoring this part of their lives.
No, I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm gonna use that word. It's because now that you say, I'm like, of course this makes sense. Now I get it. I'm like, obviously this is what is happening. Because I also, you know, I had to leave my country because of the society, what was happening, the dictatorship, this and that. And I started seeing this. That, oh no, everything is fine. No, brother, it's not fine. There's no food, there's no work, there's no money, everything is terrible. But everything is censored and you cannot talk too loud because then they're gonna go after you because you're making them look bad. So now that I'm like, obviously this is where it comes from. And it makes a lot of sense. What do you think in general? Like, I don't know why that question is there, but of kinks. Like, what do you think about them?
I don't know. It depends on the kink, probably. That's definitely a part that people are hiding about them. So, I don't know, actually. What can I say about the kinks? I think it's probably good if it stimulates something. That is it. I think there's nothing to say more about it.
Power to them. Power to them, whatever they want to do.
Do what you want to do. If your kink is slapping somebody across the face, well, you fucking do it. Why not? It's your thing. But I don't quite get the fetishes and everything like that. I think it's already giving a bit mental illness. For me, it's only my opinion.
No, but I have a funny story about this that... Well, you know, the name of the movie is Vulgar because when I came to Latvia, that was a word that I started hearing, and I keep hearing this word, because in my country we have the same word in Spanish, but it's like an old people's word. It's like no young person uses that because if you know, it's like typically old people are like, what are you?
So vulgar.
Doing that. We are the younger people are more chill. Like, obviously we're doing this thing. Like you're saying right now, like whatever makes you happy makes you happy. But it's interesting that the first time that I heard the word was with a girl. She gave me the word, and years later, I found out that she's doing. Well, I found out. I saw her Instagram account again, and like 4 years after, and she was into. I'm not gonna name names, yeah, but it was kind of BDSM-y, the Instagram account, and I was like, and you were calling me like to the girl, yeah, and you were calling me vulgar, and you're doing all this stuff. That is kind of crazy, but I do agree. I feel that it's very certain things are for me too unrelatable. Yeah. I have the joke that the sex scenes nowadays in like especially Hollywood movies, girls have a bra when they're in bed, and I'm like, no, I have never been in a bed with a girl that has a bra. That doesn't exist. Stop making. But there's the other side also, that there are things like if you're dressing up as an animal and making a spectacle, that's also crazy for me. It's equally crazy, but to the different sides of the coin, to say it somehow.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm more of, I would say, like, I'm a person who's more connected to the nature. So I think for me, if everything's happening naturally, with the natural flow, then it's happening the right way.
Okay.
And I think all these cosplays, and I mean, I get it if you like it, and it's your thing. It's the same with like religion and with genders.
Yeah.
You don't have to push it on other people.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
my opinion.
Yeah. Do it
if it's for you. Great. Like, I'm happy for you. But if it's not working for me, please don't even try to kind of tell me that I have to try it.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. Artists a lot of the times, some like drugs, especially creative people seem to have an affinity to weed because, I don't know, it makes them creative for a lot of people. And I have many friends of mine that they smoke weed while we were growing up, and they were very pro weed, and power to them, yeah. But they would always tell me like, man, you're creative, but if you would smoke weed, you would, and I would be like,
Bob Marley
fans. Yeah, 1000%, yeah. So
sun is shining, the weather is sweet.
1000%. And then I remember that I was like, yeah, like, you do you. If it works for you, I'm amazing. But for me, it's just like, I wouldn't even see the appeal because, in my eyes, just to be honest, people that smoke weed are the worst advertisement for weed because I have friends that, and they're always like that. I'm like, and I like to be hyperactive, yeah? So it would be the other way, but I agree. Like, if people are doing their thing, I think it's very great.
Yeah, you have to feel yourself and hear yourself, and you have to trust I think the body says everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think talking about cannabis, like, I approve it only if it's helping in some kind of medical way. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Because a lot of issues, have been helped, especially with the cannabis. A lot of people who have these Parkinson's or something like that, these illnesses, then the cannabis is a number one actually medicine that very helps them out.
Okay.
And I believe in cannabis also as a medicine, so that's only my opinion. Like, I've been using some CBDs or stuff like that.
Okay.
And it has helped me a lot.
Okay.
Because I had some panic attacks when I was younger, and the CBD actually really, really helped me.
Okay.
So I think also the cannabis can be very helpful for some people, but if it's only just like for feeling like a Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
And even him, it makes sense because he's already like, he has money, everything's good in his life, so he can smoke how much he wants, But if you haven't achieved anything and you're still being like, you just want to be high and that's it that you can achieve, I think you have to think if it's good for you actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, I agree that people, well, I'm for medical for sure. I agree that if it helps, then great. And, if you have any type of condition or you're going through something and it helps you, good. But every time that people ask me personally, I don't do any drugs, never did. Don't find them even a little bit amusing. I don't even take ibuprofen if I have a headache. I'm very anti But not like I'm gonna go out of my way to tell you why are you doing this. It just doesn't work for me. And
Also, I think there should be the right time
yeah,
when you do stuff,
okay,
with who
makes sense. Yeah,
and why.
yeah, yeah,
If you have these 3 answers to those questions, I think then it's acceptable.
yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, I could agree.
And if it's not harming you and your health, then it's acceptable.
Yeah. How would you feel like, this is off topic, but it just in general, food for thought. How about kids, if not a kid, obviously, but somebody who's very young and starting 16, 15, and sometimes they start, let's be honest, younger, like at 13, and they're smoking weed or something like that. How do you feel in those cases?
You have to start with the question, where did you get it?
Yeah, true. Well, there's always a bad influence around the corner,
Exactly,
I would say.
because
yeah.
I think such a youngster couldn't even get this type of stuff.
For sure.
So you have to, know where did you get it and how. But trying out things, it's normal for everybody.
Yeah,
Everybody
okay.
has smoked, everybody has, drank alcohol and stuff. So I think it's normal to try out things to make sure that you maybe really don't need to do this.
Yeah.
It's not for you.
Yeah.
Just to understand and make sure that, I've tried it, that's not for me definitely at all.
Yeah. Well, that was my experience with it, because I did try it once and I couldn't move for 3 hours. I was like this. And I hated it so much. And I came back to all my friends. I was like, okay, I did what you said.
Yeah.
This is the stupidest thing ever. I'm never doing this. Like, no, but you didn't try it right. Stop it. Like, I'm not, like, I hated it for me. But, but I get why they do it. Of course, every time somebody asks my opinion, give my honest opinion, don't do that thing. Just do you. Figure out. It's tough. If you have a lot of, because I feel a lot of my friends that are very anxious, they'll deal with it by smoking. And that might be just my outsider's idea. But I'm like, yeah, you're supposed to be anxious and deal with it and struggle. Like, but maybe I'm built different. So that's why, I only give advice when they ask me. And then if not, I'm fine, whatever they do. And I want people to be happy, and they know better how to be happy. Like, anybody's going to know better how to be happy, them, than myself. I can just only give advice.
But I'm looking at it like, it's not my kind of part to tell somebody to not do it or do it. You have to figure it out on your own. If you try it, you try it. If you don't try it, you don't try it. You just have to make sure that you are not too weak for it.
Okay.
I would say.
So you're telling that I was too weak for it?
No.
No, I'm kidding.
You were stronger than the thing,
Okay.
But if you're weak, I think you really kind of stuck with it.
You get stuck. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, you want it more, or you kind of start thinking that it helps you, or it makes you feel better, or it helps my depression, or what there's a lot of kind of things. If you're not too weak as a person mentally or some kind of type of way, then I think it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Because there is a level of how much you can do some type of things, to not ruin yourself.
For sure.
So I think it goes with everything. You can drink too much, you can eat too much, you can smoke too much, whatever, But if you do it too much, it's going to be bad. For sure. So, I think if you don't overdo it, then it's fine, And if you have the right time, as I said before, and you know that you can do that at that moment, why not do it? I think experience things, whatever, like it's your own life.
Yeah.
I believe in those ayahuascas and everything, so I think those are very helpful experiences for some people. So I think you shouldn't be very skeptical about those things, because it also works very differently on every person.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work for you, it can work for somebody else in this room.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
It can help somebody else.
Yeah,
as we mentioned also, like these medical conditions,
Well, one question that came to my mind: when did you start working? Well, how old were you?
Young.
Young.
Yeah. My first time when I had my work experience was 11 because my dad just took me to his workplace.
Okay.
Because he just wanted to teach me to be thankful about how much money you can earn in a long period of time working hard, and that actually is nothing. You can buy basically milk and bread, and that is it. But you have to be thankful for what you can, earn. And basically, he wanted to teach me how to think wisely where I spend my money, because it doesn't grow on trees. But then at 12, I worked at summer. I was picking berries. Then at 13, 14, I was working, 13 till 17, I was working in, how do you call it, in where you have to be with kids, all these type of parties. And,
okay.
Yeah, so basically in this field.
Okay.
This was my work for some time, and I was the singing one, in the group, and so it was more fun. And then at 16, I basically, I started to work with a label here in Latvia, and
at 16.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's how everything basically started.
Okay.
Yeah, but it felt like everything was going step by step, and it also made sense, that all these works or workplaces or jobs were kind of
teaching you
switching
something.
Very, in a very unique way, that it was a good experience for me. I'm very thankful for the experience. I'm thankful that I had these jobs in summer, because a lot of youngsters don't experience that, and then after that they now have to find the job, and they have to earn money, and they want to find a job where they can straight away earn 3,000 per month, and it's stupid. Where the fuck are you living? That's my main question. You don't have even experience. You have to have some type of experience to even ask for that type of money, Or you have to have diploma, from the university if you want to ask for that type of money. But maybe the young generation has a bit, I would say, strange look or reality in the sense of earning money.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them just don't have this experience, and they're just very ambitious, which is good. It's great. But sometimes it's just
delusion.
Yeah, it's not realistic.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was starting my job as a musician, a lot of times you just have to be you have to do stuff as a gift. Yeah. So things come in return later,
No, for sure. It's an investment. It's not a gift. It's more you're investing in your future.
I love to call it as a gift, because I kind of look at it gives me a more positive feeling about that thing. You don't feel like, oh, I'm investing, and it feels a bit heavy. Because it's my money, hard earned money, and now I have to invest it all, and I will not have any money left. I feel like I'm gifting something to myself, and then I will be gifted something from life, I don't know, whatever it is. But basically, I think sometimes younger generation is a bit more realistic to the look of the money. They want a lot of money. Yeah. But they don't want to really work.
Yeah, and they don't understand how it works. I agree with you. And I feel this is, I don't know if TikTok or the internet, that they see these people that online. First of all, they believe that any person that makes a video and says, I'm making 3 million a month is true, which is ridiculous, because I know that a lot of people are online faking the real numbers.
Exactly, that is the issue. And also a lot of youngsters are actually following people who are living in America, living in, these type of countries where the salaries are totally different. And they think, oh my God, they're earning 3,000, for example, for a month. But they also have to pay for stuff that is way more, expensive than here. And here, I don't know, where do you have to work if you're earning 3,000 a month?
At least a degree you need, at least. Yeah, it's good money. Yeah.
Yeah.
In Latvia, to do that is now 2024, let's be, because if somebody watches this in 10 years and they say, oh, that's easy, well, it wasn't. It wasn't, it didn't used to be easy. So, yeah, no, but I agree. You know, I went to school in New York and I had to pay for, like, it was like $900 back in the day for a tiny room in Brooklyn, an hour and a half away from my university. And I was happy because I felt that it was a steal. It was cheap. You make a lot of money, but also the expenses are very, very high. So, and you spend a lot of time doing that money. That I do feel that there's this kind of people have been sold this kind of idea of, I don't know, passive income, and they're gonna do nothing and they're gonna be rich.
Everything is possible, I think, to some extent of point. You know, at some point, because. Yeah, you can probably be very lucky and you can find a job or some type of, I don't know, whatever it is that you're doing, and you can earn probably bigger money than most of us here, you know. But it's also a very rare situation here in Latvia, so it's probably mostly if you're playing poker or something like that.
And listen, if you are making a lot of money by doing something that is exceptional, then you are the exception. Those people are the exception, and I don't think it's good advice to model a life moving forward with exceptions. I just have done pretty much like you have done. It's just working, hard work.
Exactly.
You know, like
and
working.
You work for many years, and you get nothing from those years, and then maybe after those 10 years, you're finally feeling like, okay, it's returning. It's giving me something, and that's the point. Like, a lot of young people who are starting to find jobs now, they have to remember that there are gonna be probably some years where you have to kind of, you can dream about stuff, but you also have to be very realistic. About things. Where are you in, like, country-wise, you know, where are you living? What are the salaries here, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, and those who are good business people here in Latvia, it probably took a lot of years.
Oh, for sure.
So, congratulations to them. They didn't give up, and they are working hard to achieve the level that they have achieved, you know. But a lot of people just want everything now.
Now, quick,
but it's
easy.
Just impossible. I think, in my opinion. So,
I agree. No, I asked you about the job because I do feel, you know, I follow you on socials as many people do, and I'm always seeing what you post, and you are so active and you're everywhere, and I love it. And sometimes, you know, one of my roommates back in my country used to be one of the biggest artists in Latin America, not even my country. And I know firsthand the effort that it takes because, you know, you guys don't sleep. You guys are always on a car or on a van traveling somewhere. You guys barely eat, and because you're always running around, and it's very amazing to see it. And I'm very happy that you have been able to, because I'm gonna tell you something that even works more in your favor. In my country, we have a huge music industry, so you can make a lot of money. My friend was working like a slave, don't get me wrong, but he made a lot of money, which was great. And I think you are on your own pioneering a new type of music industry. And I know you will be rewarded for sure, business-wise. But the part that I hope is that this also helps other people. Because your struggle is gonna mean different if it also helps other people, as you're saying. Because it's impressive. It's impressive because Latvia is tiny, and I feel like, but there's not that many places to perform, and you're always there, and I'm like, wow, that's great, that's really impressive.
And that's also, thank you very much, first of all. I appreciate every kind word, because it hasn't been easy, definitely, and also because, you know, I started at a young age, and it was a big responsibility to even be like the first one in Latvia who got signed by, you know, somebody. So it was a big responsibility. It was pretty tough. And to be one of the youngest, I would say now that I'm not the well-known, you know, artist, but people know who I am. And to be one of the youngest who is always between the those musicians or artists who are well known for years here, for me it's also like, wow, like, you know, I take everything as like, you know, there isn't even the right words to describe this feeling, because when I was young, I was looking at those artists through the TV, or I was going to the concerts, and I was like always, wow, that looks so cool, and I want to be there someday too. And now, like, they are my colleagues, they are my friends, and we're on the same stages and the same backstages, and it's just inspiring, and I'm just so thankful that I have this interesting life. And of course, there are a lot of days when it's very hard, a lot of situations where it's also very fucking hard, but like at the end of the day, I'm very thankful, because the hard work that you're putting into your stuff to be able to be where you are, where I'm now. It took some years also, and
I always say
added some years to my
stop it. You're no, stop it.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, but I'm gonna tell you, I always have said work shows.
You know, like, if I, for my age, would be probably dumber or not as grown as I am, probably I wouldn't be in those places where I can be now. So
1,000%.
That's also a point. If a young person in my age is not having the brain that you have to have when you're working in a pretty serious industry, you will not get anywhere, because everybody looks at you like, oh, you're just a little youngster and you're not that serious. But when you show them that you're young and you are very serious and ambitious, now I feel, for the first time in my life, when I come to the concert halls and there's this group, the same group every time, of people who are helping with the sound and everything, they already greet me like a big star, and I always say, like, to them, thank you, but like, I'm just a normal person, please, like, I can't. But it's so lovely, because they kind of see, and I believe that they also, through this, they show you that they take you seriously, and that's a big compliment for me as a young artist.
Well, that the work has shown that everything has. No, I agree. I'm very impressed, because, you know, I had heard about you, but, you know, mainly now I'm hearing that you also make English music. But I know that when somebody showed me what you were doing before in the past, was always Latvian music. And, you know, I don't know Latvian, so it's very hard for me to relate to Latvian music. But I knew who you were. But it was after that we met that I'm seeing actively what you're doing, that I'm like, but this is not by chance. This is by design. There's a lot of work put there, and it's impressive. It's impressive, especially in Latvia, because I know how tiny it is. So it's quite impressive.
Yeah, and the concurrency is pretty big also.
And the rejection, because, you know, I manage myself an artist, and we know how the people are behind the scenes, that they're very, let me put it this way, they could be more supportive. They could be with more open arms. They could. But they don't choose to be, and maybe it's the way that they test who is serious and who is not. So when I see somebody that has gone through that, I kind of can imagine and it's pretty impressive. So and I'm very thankful and happy that you did that song for us also, because it makes a difference. For me, it was challenging that, you know, I wrote the song, and it was first, I have written many songs, but I just get a feeling and I write it. And this time I needed something for something, and it was specifically type of challenge, because, as I told you, I was trying to fit it in a specific thing. It was not what I wanted to do, but it's what I want people to experience in this moment. And then I heard you sing, so you have such a lovely voice. And then we went to record, and I was like, damn, she good. And I felt so ashamed, because we found this very nice studio, I'm gonna say, because I love how but when we were going, I felt like, where are you guys taking me? I think I was in the ghetto, but luckily everything was very nice, and I'm very happy with the results. I can't wait to show it to you. Maybe you're gonna be like, oh my God, this is terrible, or something like. Are you one of those artists that when you see first time the things that you do, you have a lot of problem digesting it?
No, not anymore.
Not anymore, okay.
Because you have to listen to your songs and hear the things that you would improve in the next song.
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have to look at yourself and look at those recordings that you do as a material that, you know, any of us could record and sing it. So I just have to, it's the same as viewing a painting in a museum. Yeah. Oh, there's a part that maybe if I was an artist, I would change, you know? Yeah. The same goes with a song. Yeah. And as an artist for your own songs, you always have to kind of critique yourself, but like, in a good way, just for an improvement. Yeah. So when I was younger, of course, I couldn't even listen to my own recordings. I was like, everything sounds very bad, like that. Yeah. Now I'm even sometimes listening to my own songs on Spotify because I just love to listen to those things that I probably would love to keep it because it kind of reminds immediately about me. Okay. And it's kind of maybe something natural from me as an artist, you know, an individual. From my side, but also I listen to those songs because I just want improvement. Yeah. And that's the best way to to know, kind of, to understand what should I improve in my own stuff. Yep. Great. Yeah.
I tend to grab a whip and hit myself as hard as I can, metaphorically, of course. When I see stuff, I'm brutal but I know I'm brutal. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see it, I'm gonna hate it, and I'll come back in 2 days when all my, the negative talk has run out, that energy has run out, and then I can be objective. Yeah. Because at the beginning, I tend to be too critical, and I'm the same as you. I'm seeing, okay, why can I improve from here? This should have been like this, I make my mental notes. Of course, but I do like watching my own stuff because one of the things that happens is that it's a lot of fun. Like you relate to the person who did it very differently. So I'm like, oh my God, he did this right. Because I used to, when I'm doing it, I'm like, how did I miss that? Like it's so obvious. As soon as I finish something, the answer to the problem, a lot of answers to the problem. For example, I'm trying to solve a scene in the set, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm gonna put the camera here, I want this, that, and I'm not too sure of what happened. But I have to shoot it, stays like that, needs to be done, we move on. But as soon as you have it together, the answer becomes obvious. Yeah, like, oh, I should have done like this, and then, oh my God. Yeah. So this like, not negative, but the criticism stays and is what I remember of the experience. But when I come and look back at it, I really see what I nailed. Yeah. That in the moment it wasn't important because I was more concerned with what I didn't nail, and I'm like, oh my God, I was already doing this here, and I had no idea about this, and I see it on a different light. So okay, I'm not the.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to also you have to do it, forget about it. Yep. Then with a fresh head, you have to take a listen or take a look at what you've done. And then I think you see that you've been maybe too critical about your
1000%.
and that's the thing for artists also when I'm writing songs. Like I tend to very stick with the demo version. Like I get used to that demo version. And then when we do that, like a clean recording, I just can't take it because I'm like, no, the demo was way better. I did it cooler, and there's more truth in that and something. But that's only because you've kind of got very used to that. Yeah. And you just have to step out of it to do it even better,
Yeah. So no, but I agree 1000%. That first energy, when you're like in demo prototype, let's call it, in different
because you're really excited, like you've put everything into it and you feel like, this demo is nice. Yes. And then you have a listen and you're really like, whoa, I really love this stuff. And then you have to do the new recording of the demo and you're like, ew.
And in reality, the last one, which is what the audience gets, is just great. Like they could never ingest the demo in the way that we do it. Because we have a lot of feeling put in there. Yeah. Because it's the moment that you have the idea, I'm gonna do this like this, and
that's where probably other people's opinion matter.
Yeah.
But also they have to be your connected
circle.
To the field.
Yeah. That they understand you.
What you're doing. Yeah. So Yeah, because sometimes you hear yourself differently than others do.
1000%.
And when somebody other from the side says it's good, like it's very good. For me, one of those people is my sister, because she's 5 years younger. She is also like a younger generation.
Okay.
And I kind of want to find a way how to include the younger generation in my public at the concerts, so they would be interested. And so I usually tend to send my demos to my sister. And there's been situations where she just straight up texts me, what the fuck is that? And then there are songs where she's like, yeah. Wow. And then there are songs then where she's like, you should definitely release it. Like, this is banger. And I take her, like, you know, very seriously, because she is the new generation. She's very, like, also true with her opinion. Okay. And they are those people who, if we like it, we like it. If we don't, trash, you know. And my sister, I love that she is like straight to the point. She's not lying. She's not even trying to lie. Okay. If it is trash, she would say it. And she has a good ear, I would say. Okay. So it runs in the family. Yeah, my dad was actually a DJ in youth, and my mom played accordion. Okay, and kokle. It's like the Latvian national instrument. So, they're pretty musical people, and then there's me. Okay, that you see what I say about Latvians and music. But one thing, do you have a circle of like I myself? I have like circles of people that I trust their opinion, and I only share there. Do you have something like that too? Yeah, definitely. Okay. Yeah, people are connected to music. They are people who I've been working with for some time, and I know that they have this view on music also from a bit different perspective, because I usually tend to write something that would be good but a bit different, so it stands out in between other stuff. I don't really want to be in the same tracks as everybody, you know. I usually tend to, I want to just keep this also realistic and true side of me as an artist into the stuff that I'm doing. And that's why I'm very thankful for the producer Kim, who is from Sweden. Okay. And we've been working together since I started. Okay. And now the next release is going to be the song that we wrote with him. And in September, the one that you told me. Yeah. And we worked together with another one, our friend, colleague from Great Britain. His name is Duncan, and we wrote a great song. And we just went into the studio. I went to Berlin to Kim. Okay. And basically I went into the studio and I was like, so today I feel like this, and I told everything that I want to put out in the song. And I had a lot of ideas in like lyrics, you know, what I want to say. And they were like, well then, let's do this. And I would say that this song is gonna be another one great. I really try to tend to release music that is special also for me. Okay. I don't wanna be working on stuff that is gonna be only for good marketing. Yeah. Because, you know, some artworks, even for a painter, some artworks are gonna stay for years in your closet, for example, and some you're gonna sell like crazy or resell, or you will have to make copies to sell it, because many people love it. And same with music. But I really love this feeling when I have this very close connection and feeling, and that I can resonate myself with the song that I'm writing and releasing, because then when I'm performing it, there's also this unfakeable truthness. You know, when you perform it. And people can really feel it. Because there are songs that I've excluded from like my sets just because I'm singing it and I'm like that's not even the story that I'm relating with, and it's not about me, you know, because somebody else has written it. And I just sing it. And that usually happens in music industry too with many artists. And so I tend to find at least some kind of way that the song is gonna be like, I want to sing it, you know? Yeah. Okay. Again, my deep thoughts. Yeah. No, but I like it. I'm kind of, because, you know, I entered in music like more as a second, later stage of my life. It wasn't
my main thing has always been acting and writing and directing, and I started music later. And but music has given me one thing. It's like compared to everything I did before, songs are so short that work-wise they feel too easy. Yeah, like when I want to make a movie, I gotta commit 6 months to write a script, not even to make the movie. Like I started literally making the movie. It's a project that I had on my computer for 17 years. It ended up being, yeah. Technically, I wrote the script since last March. Let's say at the end it's gonna be a year and a half, a year and 9 months. But the things that are so long, what I love about songs is that they're short, that you just go and put one thought. So it became more of a way to write my journal outside. Yeah, like I have this, I met this girl and I like this experience and what I'm feeling, I write a song about that. I realize about this, I write a song about that, because it's easy to start, get it over with. That if I want to express myself, let's say even in a short film, it's going to be 10 minutes, and writing 10 minutes of drama is way more complicated. Then you have to go and shoot it, find the people. And so it has given me a little bit. I do love that kind of, I'm also lucky that because I was working with another artist, we have a producer, and then people send me the beats, and now the guy made this thing that for me is amazing. I love the music that he makes, and now he has a Telegram channel, and he just posts beats. So sometimes I want to write a song, I go to a beat, I like this one, I just write them like, listen, reserve this beat for me, new song. Yeah, it makes it so much easier. Yeah, that before I had to find them. Right now, everything is like at your fingertips, if one could say. So it has given me a lot of that. I feel this way, I want to express it.
Yeah, and it's a great challenge to write a song, because you have to tell the whole story in like 3 minutes, for example.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and also when you're writing a song, for me, I love to write songs so you have this feeling when the song ends, like, oh, wait, one more time, it ended too early, one more time. So I really love this feeling when the song ends and you're like, no, I want to hear it one more time. I love it. I think it's very cool.
You listen to a lot of music too?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Music is just like a healing process for me, and the why I started to do music is music just saved my life, simply.
Okay.
And basically, I really enjoy it. I just want to do it truthfully from the bottom of my heart. I don't tend to run after the money.
Okay.
I tend to do it very as you mentioned earlier when we were talking, like it's my mission to also inspire other young people, to maybe help them to not be scared to try the things that they would love to do,
Yeah.
And you don't have to be a professional,
Yeah.
It's not an obligation that you have to go to some kind of academy of music, and you can learn everything on your own if you need to, and you can achieve everything that you want to, if you love it, really, and enjoy it.
And if you put the time and the effort.
And the time and the effort and everything,
No, you're giving that like it's an easy thing. I see how much you work, and I think that's specifically a message that has to be, because you were saying something interesting about the way that people think that how they're gonna make money, that they wanna make this amount of money very, very fast. And one thing that I can see, that I just told you is like, for sure you're talented, for sure you have this passion and this mission, but you have put on the hours.
Yeah.
And that's sadly a price that we all gotta pay if we wanna grow in a certain way.
You're just too lucky if you just had everything like this, and it's you have to be very thankful that it happened like that in your life.
Yeah.
When I started, I was singing, for example, we had this outside restaurant called Egle, or the Christmas tree.
Okay.
And I had to sing 4 sets in one evening with a guitarist, a lot of covers. It's 4 times an hour. And we earned 50 euros each.
Okay.
And I did it for some time, but I had to start somehow and gain this also experience, or.
Yeah.
And as an artist, when you're not known, you have to sing somewhere at least.
Yeah.
to start somewhere. So you start with a lot of hours where you're just being there, doing your stuff, earning nothing, returning home very tired, but kind of happy that you had this time on stage at least, because that's what you really want to do.
Yeah.
But that's the point. Yeah, you have to invest a lot of time and energy in places where you earn nothing.
Yeah. And did you get to pick the songs that you were singing there? Okay, at least. Okay.
Of course.
Because if they give you a list, that would even make it worse. What is the biggest challenge you have overcome in your life? I think we already kind of talked about it, I'm guessing.
I think for me, it was being an introverted person, because when you're a public person, or you're becoming a public one, and you have to be on stage and in front of a lot of people, you cannot really be like that introverted. Also behind the stage, because you have to talk to a lot of people, and it will later depend what type of possibilities you will have in your way of career. So it was very hard and challenging for me to step out of my comfort zone of not being like all the time quiet on the side.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
So yeah, that was.
But you mean behind the scenes?
No, I mean in a way that I'm being. For example, there is a concert, you know, and there are many artists and stuff, and they're all talking and having fun, and I'm always. I loved to be on my own in a quiet corner, you know, like that. And when I went on stage, I just, you know, did that stuff, and that was it. But then I understood that if I'm not gonna spend time with other people too, nobody's gonna really know who I am and what I wanna also achieve and what are my goals and stuff. So yeah, it was a big challenge to open up to people and to be very like included in a lot of talking.
Okay.
Which is not the easiest for me, actually.
Okay.
So basically, why I talk now as good as I can in front of camera even is just because I really kind of went out of my comfort zone. I pushed myself because I knew that if I would come to an interview and you have to talk, you cannot just say, yeah. Like, you know, you would ask me, how are you feeling? Good.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't give anything to people. So yeah, that was a big challenge for me, I would say, and it was a big struggle because I was very shy as a person, actually, and I would say I was also very insecure.
Okay.
I was very scared about how I look. Will I say everything in the right way? Will people understand me? You know, I always had these overthinking.
For sure.
So now I feel that I've become already like a very. What helped me was that like I'm a real person.
Okay.
And like I don't want to be like a fake something. I want to be as I am in my real life. I want to be the same person in front of camera with other people, no matter my achievements and stuff like that. So that really helped me. And I also understood that, you know, we're all human beings and we all make errors and we all struggle with something. And we're not perfect at all, and we're all hiding something.
Yep.
So, and that helped me a lot. And then I understood, okay, I don't have to be like probably scared or shy, and I can be more extroverted, you know, in a way, in my work field. So, but yeah, it also comes with an age, I would say.
Yeah, well, an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you,
Definitely.
regardless of what you think, you're very young.
I am.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, you have a lot of experience. You're lucky that you started so young. Like, it's great to know. I would have loved, like, I had a little depression before finding out that acting was what I wanted to do. I never had, when I was growing up, I never had, oh, I want to be this. And acting, I figured out that was what, because I gave it a try. And the moment I was in a theater doing my first class, I got hooked forever. Mm-hmm. And but before, I had no idea. I never crossed my mind, oh, this is something that I could do.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
And I'm also this person. I've been my whole life like this. Like I'm very like kaivarotais. Like I love to look on. Like I love to just look at people, observe people. Yeah, like I love to observe people.
Okay.
And like I see every single little detail that would be wrong or that would kind of immediately turn me off or other way would connect me to you, you know.
Yeah.
I see all those things immediately. That's why I studied psychology, because I just love to look at people and search those things that, you know, all says something about you and I know what.
Okay.
So I'm like that very much, and that also helps me to later connect to the people because I already know the approach probably.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very open-minded, and I believe that I'm very like, I can connect to probably every person I meet.
Okay.
I don't want to brag about myself, but like for me, this is my life goal also, like to, even if it's like a freaking, I don't know, guy from a dumpster.
Okay.
You know, he's still a human being. And if he's gonna tell me something or start talking to me, I would probably listen to him, you know, and try to understand and not blame him.
Okay.
Because he's also, that's his life and that's how it is. And I don't know, I just can't connect to everybody. Of course, there are people who are harder to reach because they're just very closed up. But I think, you have to be very like, you just have to observe people. You just have to see, you know, oh, he's writing right now, see? And he's very serious, like, about this stuff. And like, that immediately gives me like, okay, I can talk to him seriously, but now he smiled, so he's also like a bit funny. So I can talk to him about serious stuff, but in a maybe more playful manner, and I know that it will work out. So that helped me a lot. Observing people and then trying to find his way of, you know, how it works for him, the communication and stuff like that.
How about movies? Do you like movies? Consume movies? What do you like better?
The last year has been without any movies because I just don't have time, and I'm so tired that I can't even consume the, you know, the meaning of the movie. I would probably watch it and zone out and be like, wait, I have to rewind because I just missed a lot of the parts in the movie. But especially in the COVID. Yeah. Oh, I watched a lot of movies. I love movies. I love to watch movies, and when I was younger, I went to cinema a lot. I loved it. But still, I have two favorite movies.
Which ones?
The Revenant.
Okay, the DiCaprio one. Yeah, okay.
Great and long and heavy movie. And from the childhood, I think I've seen this movie at least 8 times. Amadeus.
That movie is great.
That movie is my favorite movie of fucking all times. Like, I love it so much.
The guy that plays Mozart with the stupid laugh. Yeah. That movie is like, I studied him. Like, I don't remember. I saw it when I was very old, the movie. I think I was.
It's from 80s,
It's from 80s, but I saw it like maybe 10 years ago, something like that. And I was doing our theater or something, I had a scene. And I see the thing, and I was like, it's such a great choice for a character. Yeah. And I love that choice. And I started Googling about the actor. He basically did nothing after, but he was phenomenal in that movie. I love that movie.
That movie really is great. And I really enjoyed all the movies about like that Renaissance time and the Victorian era. That's my type of stuff. That's why I watched all the seasons and series that were available on Netflix from, what was it called? About the Greg Nadoon. It was the, what was the name of the, I have to look it up. It's really good. I watched it all. Basically, it's about a woman who's traveling in between times, and it's like 200 years in between those times, and she's traveling through the stones in Craig Nadoon from the 50s to like, I don't know, 1800s. So it's very, very interesting. I just love it. It just popped out of my head how it's called.
Another question, because I asked you about
but the Mozart, the Amadeus. Is just my favorite
film
ever.
Yeah, it's a great film.
It's the only movie that I have downloaded and like saved on my computer.
On your computer,
The only one.
It's a great movie. Great movie. Do you feel, when it comes to music, because I'm going to ask you the same question.
I remember Outlander.
Outlander. Okay, I know. I've seen. I've never given it a chance, but I've seen it. I'll check it out.
I recommend it.
Okay.
I really love it. It's
Patricia recommends.
very detailed movie and very realistic. I love, probably what I love in movies is the realism, like, you know,
okay.
realistic stuff. Sorry.
No, great, because I was going to pivot to something like that. Do you feel that music in Latvia depicts what the normal Joe or Yanis is living in their life? Do you think they're connected like that? Like, for example, I'm gonna tell you, in Latin America, if you get to live, by any chance we're one day in Venezuela, you're gonna hear the music that you hear is about the things that are happening. It's very connected, the culture with life. And I think that's why we make so much money in the music industry in general. Yeah. So do you feel it's the same in Latvia, or how would you say?
I would say that it depends also, again, on an artist or the genre.
Okay.
You know, the younger generation, I mean, like, not the young generation, I mean, like, the rappers in this culture, I think they tend to kind of talk about stuff that is also mostly, I think, popular in that culture, in the rap culture, also in USA and stuff like that. And they tend to probably sing about stuff that they are doing, but not other people are doing. But they are singing along to the songs because they think, oh, we should live like that, you know, because we feel gangster. And a lot of younger generation children, youngsters, teenagers are kind of hooked to that because they think that that is the life that I want to achieve.
Okay.
You know,
that's a cool life. Okay.
Yeah. But I think, there are a lot of songs that are telling the truth. Maybe Latvian music in lyrical way is more like, especially the oldest songs, they sound more like a poem. Okay. And I really love that. Okay. Because the lyrics, the words that are used are very beautiful, you know, and they're, so it depends on the genre and on the artist. There are some artists who are writing songs because it's just cool and it's just for clout and it's just hype, you know. Yeah. And then there are artists who are writing, about like love. Okay. Which is, I think, most popular theme of most of the songs. Yeah. And I think people relate to that. But I don't know any artist who would sing like, oh, well, I have like family, I have 3 children and a cat, you know? I know one, but I'm not gonna name names. I mean, nobody's gonna write like that. No, I get you. I went on the street and then there was a rock and I almost fell. Okay. No one's gonna say like that, something like that in a song probably. If they're gonna say that like, oh, today was like a bad day for me because I was unlucky. Yeah. That's how they're gonna say stuff like that. There are some artists who love to kind of write songs. Oh, if I'm sitting in a car, for example, there was one producer who said, if you want to write in a song and say in a song that you're, you know, in the back of a car with a leather seat, you should say it like that. I was like, no. Because like, how can I, like, oh, I'm sitting in a car and it has a leather seat. Like, in Latvian, it sounds very bad. Sīkā mašīnā ar ādas sēdekļiem. Like, it sounds, you know, no. Also, Latvian language is very hard. For writing music. I'm learning Latvian and I agree. 1000%. To write lyrics in Latvian, it's very hard because a lot of things that you're, for example, in English or even in Russian or some other language, you can express those things in a very beautiful language, while Latvian language, you don't have as many words and most of those words, you know, are very like, I don't know, they sound like wooden. You know, they're like... Yeah, like singing in German. Like, in English, if you sing I love you, it sounds sweet. In Latvian, if you sing Este mīlu, it sounds like I will kill you. It's like, it sounds aggressive and not lovely at all. The phonetic of the language. So it's pretty hard. And I think the old songs from Latvia or tautas dziesmas, you know, the folk songs and everything, they are the songs where this language is used in the correct way and more poetically. And through this poetic like language, you understand and can relate to those feelings or what they're adjusting to. So yeah.
So we have a gift for you. It's a T-shirt of the movie. You're part of it, so we wanted to have you there to have you give you a little gift. I can't wait to show you the movie because we are really proud of everything and thank you for coming. I love the talk. I think we out-talk the podcast. Which is great.
I'm so sorry.
No,
guys.
it's great.
I'm so sorry, but I want to say also thank you for this amazing opportunity that I can be a part of this all, and I think together we can make big things, great things, achieve big things, and
we already are doing that.
And I hope this we can influence and maybe inspire somebody else to not be scared of trying and doing and finding their own way in life. Yeah. And if you're
and collaborate because we barely know each other. I think this is the second time I see you in my life. Yep. And we were
I guess
maybe third. No.
One in the studio, one on the street.
On the street we ran. I forgot.
This is the third time.
But it's amazing that we were able to collaborate that fast. So power to what you were saying that you have this feeling that we all gotta come together to build bigger things.
Yeah, and that's the only way we can, I think, also achieve something abroad.
Yep, 1,000%.
Because not a lot of people know about Latvia. Fortunately, a lot of people, if they even hear the name Latvia, they connect it straight away this to sportists.
Yes,
all
which they have earned on their own right.
We're very proud of that, but we also want to show that there's also a film and music industry here going on, and I think it's going on pretty okay.
Yep.
But people should know Latvia better.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I love everything that is happening here. I love how I have been received, everything I have been able to create here, and I love collaborating with people because I love the results. I'm very proud of what we did because you're part of it, and I can't wait. I can't wait to show it to everybody. It's like I imagine that you get the same feeling when you have a song that you really want to put out to see what happens. So we're the same. So
I can't wait to see the movie.
Well, this was Patrisha today with us, and thank you, Patrisha, for coming.
Thank you very much.
Bye.